You are listening to GN Radio UK.
You're listening to
Dr. Morton on UK's finest, GN Radio.
The name is the Mixin Dixon. You tune in, and you know this, man.
It's your way, you're my trying, yes, you're feeling American, now I'm back, you make that time. Deposit, yeah, that time, it's your man, I'm going to say. Show us, say, no, with a beer to trust you, baby, you. May you so yummy, a mess up, but now, baby. May you so yummy, a mess up, you're for me, she let me walk across your bed now. You're for me, she let me walk across your bed now. You're for me, she let me walk across your bed now. You're for me, she let me walk across your bed now.
You are listening to GN Radio UK.
You're listening to
Dr. Morton on UK's finest, GN Radio.
The name is the Mixin Dixon. You tune in, and you know this, man.
Today is my brighter day. Make sure baby I'm gonna kill me pay. From 10 to 3 million I am day. Oh yeah. On the day we still won't go on. Today is my brighter day. Make sure baby I'm gonna kill me pay. From 10 to 3 million I am day. Oh yeah. On the day we still won't go on. Yeah.
Me gonna rock the beast of me side. Me baby bamboo water. The common and yeah
Mama, we don't run water. Mama, Mama, oh Mama, oh Uncle Beham, Mama, 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 oh Uncle Beham, Beham, you me do. Sylvia singing over you, Mama.
You're listening to
Dr. Morton on UK's finest, GN Radio.
The name is the Mixon Dixon. You tune in, and you know this, man.
You are listening to GN Radio UK.
Okay, so you live on GN Radio. This is perhaps one of the, if not the finest, in the Black and Caribbean ground. We're simply the best. We've got the best of the DJs. Rock you with all kinds of genre music, feed you with the best of information. We got views and reviews, and it's Friday. I don't know, for some reason I feel so excited this morning. I have the feeling it's going to be very well. Mr. Dampere, the new sworn in IGP, who has promised Ghanaians is going to, get rid or eradicate all the bribery and corruption. And I'm sure it's going to make my friend Mr. Joe very happy. Joe wants sanity in Ghana. Another topic that's said by Alhaji Ussif is that the youth of Ghana is actually the resource or the resources of the country. And so apparently we believe that Ghana is going to be very well, including Africa. Master of genre or master of the universe. A gentleman who plays the most sensitive music on GN Radio on Saturdays. And, say good morning to you. Awolishi, I believe you're doing the listening. Right, so I'm going to get my friend who is going to bring me what is going to happen or the latest events in Ghana. And then we'll add a bit of the topics that I have selected to talk about this morning. Good morning to all of you and welcome to the Dr. Morton Show. It's Friday. The summary events of what has transpired the whole of this week. You know what? Okay, so I've got David Tamaklo. As far as I'm concerned, currently is the best journalist in Ghana when it comes to the latest events and how to construct his sentences. Well, we've seen the Kwekubakos, we've seen a few, the Sefakans and the, may he so rest in peace, the late Komla Jimo, and who has won, who won, was it the best journalist of the year 1993? I was in Ghana, I couldn't get it done, but hey, that's life, man. It gets to attend. Now, Mr. David Tamaklo is blowing the airwaves with some of the news. He's got a bit controversial. He's got some attack within what I call statutory attack of the politics. But hey, he doesn't give up. There's a man of resilience and strength and focused. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, my brother. Thank you very much for the compliment.
Yes. How are we? How are you doing?
I am fine. I'm fine, thank you.
Right. So yes, go on, sir.
Yes, I'm very good, and I hope you are fine.
I am very fine. So this morning, I have selected a few topics to take us through. But my question is, you must have gone through a few, or some of the issues must have cropped up, which I believe you and what's his name, a few media houses must have tackled. What is the most sensitive issues burning in Ghana at the moment?
Thank you for the opportunity once more. Let me extend warm regards to your listeners. Doctor, I think that last week I told you guys are doing a great job.
Okay.
We all have a responsibility towards our country, whichever field we find ourselves.
Okay.
And more importantly, for us as media practitioners, it's our mandate to create awareness among the public, and let them understand how they are being governed.
Right.
We are part of the system that should create awareness and ensure that there is transparency in everything that government or people who are given the power, the mandate to govern the country are doing. And I think that on that score, we are all doing great. We pray that we hold the mantle and do more than we are doing to ensure the transparency and the accountability to our people. Now, back to your question of the hottest issue. Currently, I think that my focus has been with anti-corruption issues as well as good governance issues. Something is cooking. Something is cooking. Either.
Oh dear! I don't want to believe I've lost this man.
Hello?
Oh yeah, you're live on air, please.
Doctor.
Yes, go on.
Hello, Doc. Are you there?
I am here. I'm live and clear here. I can hear you live and clear.
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you.
Hello, Doctor.
Oh, yes, I'm here. I can hear you, David. Oh dear, line is gone. I bet Ghana don't want us to talk about what is going on, but hey, we still got to go on. Okay, so I'm getting David back. Hopefully, I should get him to continue with the most sensitive issues in Ghana. Oh dear. Yeah, hello.
Hello.
Yes, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, go on.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah,
sorry for that.
No, that's fine. Go on.
Yes. So, as I was saying, there's something cooking in our country now, and I just hope that a lot of people get to understand and get to express their views and concern, so that the right things will be done in that regard. If you have heard the issue of GMPC attempting to pump about $1.6 billion into the purchase of an oil block, of interest in an oil block in Cape Tree Point, regarding oil block that ACP Energy owns a lot of shares in. It's a very contemptuous situation that I believe that people in the industry should be taking interest in, because it will require a lot of damage to our economy if we are not careful. I can try and just. What I understand it to be is that ACP Energy acquired some interest in the blocks. Hello?
Yes, go on, sir.
Okay, so as I was saying,
right,
ACP has had some interest in our blocks, in our oil blocks. which they acquired some years ago. Proud to, I think they acquired it some years ago, and this interest before, I think around 2015, 2014 thereabout. This interest was in with Eka Energy, and it was tailored by the then handlers of GMPC and the Ministry of Energy, the Parliament involved, and it was tailored to give GMPC some good stake, and the government of Ghana some good stake in the oil exploration industry, and not only to be exploring, but also own shares in the industry, so that we can also develop our institutions to be well involved in the transactions in the value chain than what GMPC had been doing in the past. So there were some great shares that GMPC was supposed to have. I think about 43% shares it had through its affiliate organizations. When the new government of NPP came, some presentations were made to the cabinet by specifically the finance minister, Ken Oforiatta, and the then energy minister, well, it was a Jaco, later became Peter Amewu, and they presented some documentation to cabinet. What it ought to do was to change the agreement. The details of the agreement I won't be able to tell you because of the time.
That's fine.
But the agreement was reviewed and changed on some false premises, if from what I understand, that what I read to be. And no, it wasn't only the agreement that was changed. The agreement was changed to affect the interests of Ghana in the oil blocks. And indeed, GMPC shares, which was 43%, was drastically reduced to about 18% and later to a minimal percentage. How that was done, only God knows. But then what happened is that they then found a local company, which was formed just within the time the changes were done, and gave it to cronies of the finance minister. And I mean, I have done some work on the said cronies. I have spoken. Reason they gave, I mean, their track record was nothing, warranting the that were given to them by the new agreement. But like I said, we can go into this agreement later.
All right, no problem.
We may need that.
Now,
talk about it.
Yes.
But,
now, my question.
I'm just throwing.
Yeah. We get it.
You too. I think you may also want to look into it.
Into it, I will.
Then there are other issues. Today, we are also talking about issues surrounding UTAG strike, where UTAG is demanding some pay rise aside what the government intends to give them. That issue is still dragging because the Labour Commission is threatening UTAG to sanction them and all that. And UTAG adamant, they said, look, we're going to go ahead because all we want is to have our salaries increase to reflect the work we are doing. I won't go into how the other salaries have been increased
before you get picked up as usual. Before you get picked up.
I mean, as for the picking up,
you're getting used to it. You seem to be getting used to it by the police.
We can sacrifice something for our mother country.
Okay, that's fine.
Our country,
David,
Ghana.
you remember last week
we
only talked about the demonstration. We couldn't finish the last touches of the cathedral. As I talked about the essence of it, whether it's necessary at all, especially with the state of affairs as it is in Ghana. A lot to feel comfortable, perhaps nowhere to tend to when they break. Unlike some people who don't even have what to eat 3 square meal and all that. They seem to be second to this, if you like, unnecessary ideology. Can you finalize that? What were your thoughts? We couldn't finish. If you want to land, then we draw a curtain on that.
Well, as for the issue of, I think that it's what I normally want to do is for Ghanaians to understand the issue we are. A lot of Ghanaians do understand the issue about the cathedral. The general conclusion is that it's so unnecessary. It's so unnecessary because at this time that cannot be
a relevant issue.
Most important thing for people in government to do. So if we are clear on that, I think that any further talk about it is just. I mean, if you are asking my opinion, it is a useless, venture that the government or the president has undertaken. Not to even talk about the corruption activities around it. Because how do you ask people to contribute money, 100 cedis a month to build the cathedral? Who is putting the money in? If you want to do any such ventures as what's the name, a benevolence venture, you have to be paying tax on even gifts that you make. That is the law. You have to be paying tax. So if you are going to give 100 cedis, what is the structure? Is it the foundation that is collecting this money? Who is collecting the money? Ghanaians must know. There's lack of transparency in even that aspect of it alone. Now, you are even talking about what are we looking at? What are the figures? What are the figures? So, and you see, it is sometimes if you deal in financial, money laundering and all those, you understand how it happened. These are some of the conduits for it. So the president, the cathedral has the presidential backing. It has ministerial backing. It is a noble cause, if you want to say it, because it's a religious cause. So people may be thinking that everybody is going to be donating to it. But how much is going in? It's open avenue for drug dealers to even use it as a conduit to launder money into through and through the country.
Okay.
So all this, there's no transparency around it.
Well, so it is a vow which the president solely or individually has given this a thought that 3 consecutive times he's actually tried to come into power. So then it becomes a vow he's actually promised God, but it must solely be, his own probably affairs. Question a lot of people seem to be asking is, why is he getting everybody involved?
Why is he getting everybody involved? Why is he getting the states involved? Look, as we speak, some judges have been moved from the space that this cathedral is being built. They were occupying state bungalows. Okay, so that take the burden of the taxpayer,
right,
to be paying huge sums of rent for their accommodation.
Okay.
But they have been moved from there and taken to very expensive private, private estates,
okay,
which are being borne by the state.
Okay.
Some of these private estates they have taken, again, they took it from cronies. The crony must make money.
Okay.
So they have moved these judges, and we are paying so much in rent for these judges. Not that the judges don't need a place to sleep, but they were sleeping at a place, which, nobody was complaining. Who is paying for that space? Whether or not the right thing has even been done, because the place, if you go into the land administration part of it, government took that land from the people, some people, as a false acquisition. And when you take that land, the law says that if the purpose of the land, the use of the land has changed, you must go back to the people you take the land from, negotiate compensation, pay them their compensation before you use the land. Has government done anything like that?
Okay, so there's an issue of misplacements of priority.
There are so many questions about this cathedral.
Okay.
You see, So much.
Okay, all right, no problem. David, it's coming up to about 10 to 9 o'clock. Finally, Dampere, Dr. Dampere, your thoughts on him? You know anything about him? You read about his history, what he's, how he's impacted so far until, you know, we swore him, he's sworn in fully to take his duty commence.
Well, so Dr. Dampere, the new IGP.
Yes. Now, did you listen to what he said? He said he's here to clear all the mess and, you know, keep the sanity in Ghana going. And then probably we're looking at corruption. And then maybe from his time he actually, you know, commenced duty, we're not going to see bribery. We're not going to see anything of such nature.
To say the truth, I believe so much in the Dampere, and him as a choice for IGP is a great thing I have heard this whole year.
But you haven't personally delved much into who he is, where he's coming from,
I have
his
dealt
history
with
or
Dr.
his
Dampere.
CV and that.
Yes, I've dealt with Dr. Dampere, and I know he's an astute gentleman. He is a person who respects rules, and he is a person very passionate about anti-corruption. He's one of the most professional police I have ever dealt with. I know that when it comes to even operation, he has a lot to show. I live around the Spinters end, and that road used to be a traffic den. If you ask anybody, hey, if you tell anybody you live around the Spinters, they say, that road, how do you even survive it and all that? One fine week, I got on that road and I saw this man parked by the roadside and directing traffic himself. As I speak to you, the traffic situation, the reckless, driving and all that on that road has reduced a lot, and people no longer refer to Spinters as a hotspot for traffic and all that. That is just a little about the operational side of him. But I know that whilst he was the administrator in charge of administration at the police headquarters some years back, when I got to know him, he was the talk of the police administration. He will open every file to be sure that everything is correct. Those who like corruption did not like him. And I believe that is what he's bringing on the table. Of course, there are nuances about this appointment where you get the position and people in power, people with a higher authority, the appointing authorities would like to teleguide what you do, who want to interfere with your powers and all that. I know he's a very strict guy and can stand some of those things. But hey, power is power. And we have seen it numerous times. The likes of the Auditor General Gon Domelevo and a few others. I mean, the PS, the SP, Martin Amidu, when they tried to stand on the way of, to ensure the right thing was done, the people who appointed them kicked them out. I hope that doesn't happen on the part of what's her name, Dr. Dampere. Other than that, I think he's a great guy. I believe in his capabilities. I would only say that we should all give him the support and guide. Of course, he's a human being. He's likely to make mistakes and all that. When he make the mistake, we have to point it out to him. And I hope he listens and let and be guided by. He's a very humble man. That is one other accolade I can give him. He's very, very humble and God-fearing. So, if you want to ask me about him, I have a lot to say about his pedigree and his ability to do what he's been appointed to do.
One more thing, finally, before I let go, Mr. Mustapha Ussif said Ghana, the youth is actually the resources of the country. You share the same ideology, and so that we need a bit of attention, to get the country going.
My brother, basically, that is it. The youth in all over the world are the future of any country. What you are able to invest in your youth is what you get back as a country. There is no doubt about that. But the question is, in Ghana, how are we actually ensuring that our youth are resources? You know, when you talk about resources,
Right,
like you
yeah.
have Ghana, have resources like gold, cocoa, and so on and so forth. Yet, when you come to what the country can boast of, we are lacking because all these resources are not used for the purpose it should be used for.
Okay.
That is the same scenario with our youth, very vibrant youth, very determined, yet the investment we are making in them is not so sufficient. We are not giving them the opportunity to be a useful, very useful.
Right.
So I think it's if he's mentioning that, I think he's just reminding himself, reminding his colleagues in government that look, we need to look back at the youth. We need to empower them to be to you see, if you have cutlass in your hand, unless you are able to use it for what it is used for, you will not get the result. You will not be able to appreciate what that cutlass, how good that cutlass is. So that is it. We have the youth. Yes. How do we invest in them? The education, the mentorship, and all that. We must all be interested in what we put in this youth to make them a good resource and useful resource.
Thank you very much, David. Hopefully next week, Friday, we're able to gather all the events and we'll come back to you. I mean, the fact that you avail yourself for such events, you know, I applaud this and want to thank you.
I'm glad to do this, particularly with the kind of commitment you and your colleagues are putting into it as well.
Thank you very much and have a good weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was David Tamaklo, the news editor of the editor of the, how do you call it, the What's Up newspaper. I've got Sabatu. Good morning, Sabatu.
Good morning, Doctor. Let's play.
Because it looks like I won't take because you were calling in.
David.
Obina no update here near Kosovo. What's in I don't pay now you can't about IGP now so any name Dr. Dampere nominated be sure say what a home sem kakra you know this man is in with the view say or clear all the corruption and so we can have some sort of a peace Ghana. And I'm not bringing, you know, the general feeling of, you know, general feeling of insecurity. The fact that Sabi you cry Kufi and Yusru and all that. Wabash Ashaya Bo say and Mustapha Ussif or say the youth is actually the resources of the country. And so we need a lot of attention, especially when it comes to job wise nominating. What do you know say?
Doctor, I'm chair with you for an opinion.
The phone lines is 0203-735-8820 or 0203-286-0185, 0203-735-8820 or 0203-286-0185. WhatsApp line here 077-8793-9958. 077-8793-9958. All right, shoot.
Hello, Doctor. You're live on there. Let me just say something little about this Afghanistan issue. Sometimes I don't know why our Western countries they react in those kind of manner. That a country that was stable, they went there and they could not bring that same stable back to the people, and they left, and now it's causing a lot of mayhem and mix up, and then they are now trying to go back again, which for me, I don't think it was proper plan, and because I share the time that they left in it on seminar cafe and nipa asaba bewu a yeku yasa dispatch it's uncalled for. The minimum how the ASR plan to pull out and just go back. I have to suffer no more go back where these Taliban are fighting back, capturing a lot of places. Life just gone just like that. In fact, it was not it wasn't proper plan anyway. So I don't know foreign issue na because of Afghanistan. Back home there, why wouldn't say no man kwe? Because since I know for I and say at his age, you know, to planning normal on emaning kwenim because of say or the families I try to wish ya no do mu bu amai. So what do family try to wish ye bu amaya? They be touching my own to me because oka na no ma tutu amu chacha waba so unim se we there we unia. Udini to me we your wafa say udini to me we your wafa
football bo just
and that's where we are. And no, and yet, once or my many walk say, be any one of my equaswa, Nana do a boon and ye goes because I know, or no one can call for a book chrono by them, or no one can call for a mismanagement of our economy, and so almost or more bomb homebody. So, sharing some about me, I kind of last week here, Ghana afternoon, a month for sereno, even. You could see from their faces.
What are you talking about? Oh, Phyllis is a mere excuse with all these economic.
But even if you are looking for mere excuse, you need to bring something tangible. So, bring something convincing. Se some year about me, could you know, Casani, Bobisia, Nemum, stable, prudent enough, and you could define it the word prudent near the Adeno. It was uncalled for, and you could see someone for a passion. Even like I said, Oma no moti hono kurano. So mufri sa some no bekan komamba. And you could see from their faces that Omunya happy. But Umia face no kasa people cheer him up near the Adeno. Then opposition and Okasa and Sembono Kran Papa. So this is the government Oma Boyaka. And the Usha judgment that Ghana is all caused by this government. Usha and the procurement process and go through Ghana ACP Usha and saying a vaccine yanke kwakotoya yesi ya refund yesi kama yenemum people that cause like Makmenu ne finance minister omo da sote. Why? Because omo ye president unipa. Right. So and yes, Adia, you cannot tell me say, "Oh my, the papier okay." And conformity to you see, fine. But wait, try say, can offer take you see, be a genuine on for Krampasun to Yesicano, until by it. I was so resigned, all resigned here. There was a president, a force on Uncle resign, and now we unity.
Hold on, Papacho, who is this? Who's online, please? Good morning. Oh, because so I'm certain I can't hear him.
Until when we say, baby, you will the doctor now, I say him, and no man so, and until and the Obia Casano and Babunasam and Babunasam, because you will cry. Yam plani bibia ama mabuno. Yam plani bibia ama senge model. Yam plani bibia ama over age like 60 years for. Yam plani bibia na accident ikuye because ye do a carriage we are. Ebema accident so ate yesi yenye.
Hold on, hello, may I know who's on the line?
Yeah, hello, Doc.
Oh yeah, Joe. Oh, can you hold on 1 minute, Pocho?
Alright, no problem.
Okay.
No problem.
Actually, Sabato Nanka. Can you hear Sabato? Okay, that's fine. Sabato, wouldn't you answer you?
Yeah, and maybe Uncle, so we shall see a demonstration about the country. Near Yankasi, Ghana for Musi okay. That's it. The beer cost will Ghana be okay, Mamma. No more so acquaintances and training, about no more yet did. At the same time, what we no man. That's a normal cost will Ghana, no more big general said no my ya. This is where we are. Maybe I'm a semi-town. Yan try maybe be mat. So who person we are, man, your summer. Yan fat the train mundo than to. Yet the way you knew was here, say, they be seen the amount for the taxes. Yakobobesia or Ghana demo. At the end of the year, the young fan ye be no young child, not the way you didn't ever enter and their own friend Tronti. I am for 4 no problem because I am for 4 would become no more refugee or the buy another. Yes, so we be a cramba had that by a tend to be forced. A doctor, the American say, all is not well. Our economy is in crisis. We should Ghana for our bread. We need to get somewhere That's why we ask the government to fix it and fix it now. Thank you for opportunity
you very
this
much.
morning.
Joe, you're live on air. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Doc. Michia na Michia Tiofina. The Asida Suma Tradiam Kwame. Doc,
yes,
one thing is very familiar. You see, Nanado's government is synonymous with God's mercies.
What do you mean?
You know, the reason why I'm saying that is that God's mercies are abundant, you know.
All right.
And Nanado's government is abundant with corruption. So corruption in Nanado's government is synonymous to God's mercies because we have it every day. So there's no need to even talk about corruption in Nanado's government. But you see, one thing is very shocking.
What is that?
Why Colin Zauda is being hauled to the court for maybe prosecution, yet the health minister is walking out free. I just don't get it. Because someone who had, even Colin Zauda, he didn't even kind of went into any agreement without parliamentary approval. The agreement was already there. He executed it, just that the buildings we were supposed to receive didn't add up. But this is a person. I mean, sometimes it looks as if it's only children who are governing the state.
You know, when you talk about the parliamentary approval, we've had a few incidents or few events. That does not make it look as if the government. Hold on. Who is this? Hold on. Pacho, who's this, please?
Auntie Martha.
Oh, Auntie Martha. Oh, I must have cut Joe. Hello, Joe. Oh, huh. Shoot. No, Jado. If my phone calling in tea, why can't you on the line? On your shade, so in your phone number anyway. Oh, Joe. Joe, if you want to call back, unfortunately, I am the one line. I'm a pick Auntie Martha and it's cutting your line off. And so, remember, I think that I could get him back again. Yeah, Joe.
Yeah, Doc.
Sorry. Auntie Martha, and then I should have held on. So, Auntie Martha, you have to call back, I'm afraid. So we're talking about the parliamentary approval. Recently, we've seen, President's wife's suggestion that to be paid as his wife, which we believe is not in our constitution. So a lot of people made noise. We had expected the parliament to approve this. And then the money, it was about 15,000 per second or something that the president, when he includes his political assignment, traveling over the world, which also saw a bit of noise from Ghanaians. The question that flips up is whether our parliament really exists at all, or whether they're effective as we assume.
You see, this is why I have a problem with the NDC, and I think every day my uncle Sabato would never forgive me for my qualms and my problems with his party. Today he is happy talking about fix the country. Now let us go into the fix the country. What are they demanding for? What are their agitations? Now, as an opposition that is waiting to form the next government, have you invited the convenience of the Fix Their Country? Have you signed any social legal binding agreement with them? Because the Fix Their Country is talking about, we don't need indemnity clause in our constitution. We don't need buying cars for MPs. We don't need gracias. Have you, as opposition, that today you are singing the song of the Fix Their Country? Have you sat down? Has Mahama or the NDC called the youth of the Fix Their Country and said, look, this is what you are talking about. This is what will fix Ghana. We believe in the Fix Their Country. We are sitting down with you to assure you that given the mandate next time, this is what we are going to, because this is what you think will fix the country. But today they're all happy talking about fix the country, yet they are not making anything. They are the same as their MPP. They are just only using the slogan to help them push their agenda to come to power in 2024. But nothing. Because if I were John Mahama today, I would invite the conveners of the Fix the Country, sign a legal binding agreement with them and say, look, yes, I am. What are your agitation? What are your demands? This is what I'm also going to do. Let's sit down, strike out those ones we think are unachievable, unattainable. And those that we can attain, put them on paper, sign it, and then get their backing. We're only happy. Opposition. You see, They are here talking about Adjumamenu must resign, Adjumamenu must be prosecuted.
Is it with the COVID issue? Is it with the COVID issue?
Who endorsed Adjumamenu?
Of course.
Who endorsed Adjumamenu?
Mm-hmm.
You see, if there is a saying that if something is in your eyes, you first of all remove it before you come and remove the one that is in someone's eyes.
Pecs, yeah.
If the opposition needs to sack, first of all, sack their leaders in parliament. If there were any morality in the opposition now, if there is any discipline, they will first of all sack their leadership in parliament, because the opposition has more Muslims. I mean, I'm not being tribal, but I'm trying to land on something. They have more people of Muslim or Islamic origin than the government. We had Ashanti regional minister calling Muslims all sorts of names. Yet these Muslims, and they are majority, even on the committee, they went there and endorsed him. And when they are insulting you, say the NPP insult Muslims. What do you want them to do? What do you want them to do? You want them to go and sit down there and give you lavender, or you want them to give you David Beckham's deodorant? They go there to insult you. You understand? Because you endorse them. You gave them the mandate to do that. So, right. I mean, sometimes the opposition, I just don't understand. I just don't know what kind of opposition we have. I don't know. And Mahama, someone who wants power, you're always quiet. You don't feel the plight of Ghanaians. Talk for people to know that you are there. He's always quiet.
Well, I mean, now he's not in power, so he doesn't think anything he says is that effective.
No, whether you are in power or not in power, you've been a leader before. You've served this country before. You understand? That is why when we always say that when something happens, we go to a leader in the house. So you are the leader in the house. Let us assume that Nanado is not good. Who do we call on? We call on the former president to intervene. And you are there, you are quiet. And you are not just a former president, you are someone who also wants to become president again. And lastly, before I go, the youth. I mean, someone made mention about the youth being the magnet of the country. Yeah, of course.
Mustapha Ussif.
Yeah,
and see, the youth needs attention. Yeah,
the youth need attention, but then also we the youth also we need to know what we want. We need to prioritize what we want in our agitations. We need to put forward what we think is better for us. We should not just wake up and just walk about, face the country or MPP, NDC. We have to table something down that will be beneficial to us. And that's what I'm saying. The youth, we need to come into coalition and say, look, any party that wants to come to power, we are going to give you our support. But these are the 1, 2, 3. We don't want you to come with your manifesto, where when you come, you don't even do it. We don't want you to go and sleep with a woman, and when the woman satisfies you, you make promises, and when you come, you have to fulfill that promise and tell all of us to join you in fulfilling that promise. No, this is what we want. Until we do that, we are going to remain a dotted and meaningless part of the population. So we need to be reasonable. We need to wake up as youth, because the future belongs to us. And if the future belongs to us, we need to make proposals that will spearhead a proper future, and not sit down there and rely on this path that has been created for us or carved for us, which means nothing. So I think it's not just about leadership that is denying the youth of the future. We ourselves are also denying ourselves of the future. So we need to wake up. We need to wake up. In as much as we talk about face the country, when the country is faced the youth, we also need to make an impact. We also need to put down proposals. That is what I would say. It's a nice statement. I applaud it. It's laudable, but we need to make proposals that will help us in the future. Thank you, Doctor, for your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That was Joe. Antimatter Oha. I don't think Antimatter is there. Antimatter must be gone. But right, so it's about 9:15, and Manyati is here. Her program would also be coming up very soon. So this morning, for those of you who just joined us, read a few messages on Facebook, and then we'll take it from there. Okay, so Mr. Ochre says we've taken most of the time. I bet it was wanted to say something, which I probably could not give him a chance because somebody has stayed on the line quiet for some time. And then he said, the Fix the Country founders are not interested in forming a public group and then forming a political group. And we have and not interested in MPP or NDC. Okay, well, that's fine. He said they will announce it when the time comes. This is Mr. Ochri. Reggie Akwe is a great one, bro. Thank you very much. He's also watching on Facebook. So the rest keep coming on, but I will read them as the time goes on. Right. So hello. I will read them as the time goes. Yeah, hello.
Hello.
Oh, Antamata, good morning.
Good morning.
Asana Babu. After correct time because you are live on a butum akamepedeka. In the year Kambao or Mr. Dampere, new IGP na we seen an nonye Moko Ghana. Last week in Tumamba, we spoke about Cathedral and whether and who faso and now Finson or Fix the Country demonstration. I'm the insurance member the papa and Tim Epedeka and pay one home.
Yeah, this time more hot Morton. Now, Madame today. Mamma notices the number. Hello, I'm at
yeah.
You last year, you taken the council. Now, up to now, Crampon. Means today we have a Founders Day because that big Founders Day, demonstration day. And that's what is going to be there forever. Every 4th August will be demonstration day. That's a manka.
Hold on, Maba. Good morning.
Good morning.
May I know who's on the line, please?
Mr. Morton.
Yes.
Pacho,
why not say woman to the answer?
Ayo, mdindi Ghana Bay.
Ghana Bay, Mr. Mame, 1 minute, pet, Meneo Mami na Yantuaso. Why, Mr.
Ayo.
Okay, answer my talk on Pacho.
You until first the country day in America.
Okay, yeah, Pacho Kodo.
That's the whole Ghana. Means there a bimpo back there or your Founders Day. Some of one. More back there. Yes, more back there is the country. Oh, my dear. More back on I don't know, the hatred or the jealousy of the first president of Ghana because of hatred and so on. Oma Ghana and Crampon, Morocco, Aya, you whom Morocco. Now they be a Macade. The way you jealous from the Africa, Ghana will move forward. Next year, about Cathedral. Onam Dami jealous now over their heart. You think when we are building the cathedral, that will solve the problem. But on the other, now what can they be answering 100 citizens every month? I mean, to me, they have the money there already because of the oil and gas. They have it already, and they are just saying everybody should contribute. So what you call Ajunjumu Pa, when who there, is just jealousy, hatred, from the beginning. You don't want independence. You don't want it. But now, after the independence, the same people are enjoying more. And those who suffer for the independence, we are suffering. Someone came and he said, if they take care of the youth, you are taking care of the nation. But now, the youth of Western region, the Western youth, they are now weakening them more and more. Why? Because the same people, the resources of the oil and gas, now they have laid underground to the Achim and Ashanti. So now the youth over there, they are very enjoying, and the youth in Western region are suffering. Why are they suffering? The Western and the coastal.
Okay.
Our main job is fishing. But now, because of this oil and gas, we are suffering over there.
Okay.
The youth have nothing to do, and all the big companies that are coming, because they lay the pipe up to the area, they are now using it to help their region. So that is our independence. Those who didn't suffer for it, they are now enjoying. And those who suffer for it are now suffering. So if they want to be fair, the quota, especially where they get the gas and oil.
Yeah, that's what I have 1 minute, Pocho.
I'm coming. All the coconuts are dying. They cannot fish. The fishermen cannot go to fish. They can't fish. They are not fishing properly.
Oh dear. Gonna be sorry. Sorry.
The youth in the coastal, they are wasting their talent. Hello?
Yeah, Kapa.
Yeah, they are wasting the talent of the youth.
All right, Antimata. I'm the Omraso. Thank you very much, Antimata.
In fact,
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Gonna be in what's free.
Gonna be in as
me pacho we want from Mbitmi Akasa. You're live on air.
Aye, yo, me da wase.
Yo, me da wase.
Minia, we dey yetiemo, munuma pa na asem kakra bi na minua oba ya nsana mami de be okan ya ama mabo awura mu. Na de tia ne se minia se edrum le bi a moma yempa politics no ento nchen kakra na yenka fast yenka nokra beboa ama Ghana timide ntuma papa afira. Because Osha face the country assembly in the other kind say and what's the Mahama solid dinamubino. A hono menene nyajin. Say Mahama no de or your position. And wo abamu here. And a debate na air person so no. Said the NDC and a MPP na a Ghana mine and a year sofa and a year debate no. Enti abaya wote so no ena wo se ototo ne niam yie abaya na wote so no ena wo se ohun hawa obesi ati atoto ne niam enti wo opposition a wo ba bi de wo timi ma na kan kire timanfo se munya debate no ana munya de mo ye no ana moma ne nkofom ni pare ti wona sumunyo no wo opposition a wa tra opposition enti Mahama is a back ehun ya si e de Mahama ebe hye sa asemu emu politics ena all ye wo ho. Because Mahama don't need anything to do about serving the country, no. Or no, say Yamian, I don't know, Timiba, Abamu, necessary, no, or man in course, and or man move for a tenor. thing demonstration and so is go against him. It's one what he actually not Obeba Mukrana or no soon homework ye. Send the bear or who send ye or mine or a man for or woman ever.
Gonna be the part want to see you have set your time limiting so be
Mammy 1 minute. The part of 1 minute. Still be
all right.
The attorney say one we say or can I say Mabunu Munia the Adeno. A chrome higher one. And Perifona as yes, say, and I didn't try at all. I'm a mabunu. It started from top. It's in Perifona 9 years, say, M1, 10 years, they are lost. And in Malabaya Juma, no more Perifoni this war. No you to know so this or no more the Aboa. Then you to now also Persian and one son open Muno, what the man. It's me Pamchobebre, and not the car, and my mom for politics, and Mamu, or Manu Koyet, Manfobre, in Tiaban or Tisono, or head and 2 years. Medawase.
Okay. And also a year Ghana be ye. I'm sir Manyati is up next. What the legal issues ne bremo. More Sebe and Krata Sam Enkuyukrum Hasino, Neohubiano or the bremo. So senior Lonqua Bebro was someone can want some. Yamaya Duma, that's an Friday. My name is Dr. Morton Yebekasa. Have a good weekend.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Monday, no. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, baby, Thursday, maybe. I don't look like what I have been through. You've turned my pit into a well. So the essence of my praise is centered on your grace. I don't